Hi, and welcome to the Virtuous Circle. This is episode 2, Getting Started. As we discussed in the introduction, we are going to cultivate 3 feeling states in order to raise our frequency. And I say feeling states because we want these feelings of joy, love, and prosperity to be pervasive in our lives and to be unconditional. And it's just practice, just like we're practiced at worrying, being angry, or feeling guilty. So in this episode, we're going to present a short meditation which will help focus you in the right direction. For our purposes, we are going to associate the feelings of joy, love, and prosperity to specific parts of the body. Love to the chest and heart area, through the shoulders and right to the fingertips. Joy to the area above the chest, that is the neck and the head, and prosperity to the area below the chest, the lower body, right down to the toes. This meditation is 12 breaths long, broken into 4 sets of 3. The first set, we focus on joy in the head and neck area. In the second set, we focus on love in the heart and chest area. The third set, we focus on prosperity in the lower body. And for the fourth set, we focus on all 3 feelings, each in their respective parts of their body. In the beginning, you will need a quiet spot so you can focus. Sit or lie comfortably and breathe comfortably. And focus on feeling the emotion, how it feels in the body, and in particular, the vibration or frequency of that emotion. And now for the meditation. I am, breathe in. Joy, breathe out 3 times, and allow the feeling of joy to intensify and expand outside your body. I am, breathe in. Love, breathe out. Again 3 times, and allow the feeling of love to intensify and expand outside your body. I am, breathe in. Prosperity, breathe out 3 times. Again, allow it to expand and intensify. And finally, I am, breathe in, complete, breathe out. Allow all 3 feelings to intensify and expand outside your body. And that's the meditation. Now it's just 3 times each to allow you to focus and intensify, and not too many times to allow you to lose focus and let your mind wander. Of course, if you still have the focus, you can repeat the meditation. In the beginning, if you're anything like me, you may not know what pure and unconditional joy, love, and prosperity feel like. So in my case, for joy, for instance, I started with just happy. And for love, I started with a feeling of fondness. And for prosperity, which was even harder for me, I started with the feeling I get when I make a meal for someone and share it. Until you are comfortable with invoking each of the frequencies separately, you may want to forego the 4th set where you feel them all together. That one can be a bit challenging at first. So, how do we bring this into our daily lives? Well, the first step is to use the meditation to become comfortable and familiar with these energies. And once you're able to invoke strong, focused feelings during the meditation, you can move on to the next step. It's worth noting that each feeling will have an emotional as well as physical dimension. For example, your feeling of unconditional joy will cause a physical sensation in your neck and head, which is to be cultivated and intensified as part of the meditation. And a quick note, this is not an all or nothing exercise. What I mean is that you don't have to be able to invoke all 3 feeling states to move on to the second phase. If you are comfortable with even one of them, you can start to include it in your day-to-day activities. Triggering a familiar feeling state will make it easier and easier to invoke the other ones. Now that you can invoke one or all 3 feelings, it's time to make them the predominant states in your day. And all this requires is practice. This first starts with invoking them when you are alone and have few distractions. For example, whenever you start a chore, as you're getting ready for sleep, when you wake up, before eating, when you say your prayers or perform your devotions, anytime you have an undistracted moment. And you invoke them just as you did in the meditation. I am, breathe in, joy, breathe out, or all three together. I am, breathe in, complete, breathe out. This cannot be overstressed. This is a feeling exercise and not a mental one. You must feel each frequency both physically and emotionally when you invoke. And you feel them without any expectations. Just enjoy the experience and then go on with whatever you're doing. That's the unconditional part. When I first started the second step, I found that remembering to invoke a higher frequency was difficult because I'm a person of habit and routine. So I decided to carry around a notepad where I recorded what I was doing throughout the day, and then placed a check mark beside each activity where I remembered to invoke a higher frequency either prior or during that activity. After a while, invoking became a habit. Then, when you are comfortable with feeling these frequencies in private, you can invoke them in increasingly busier and distracting situations. But the key is to bring these feelings into play when you have some degree of focus. And you will find that it is just a practice thing, much like muscle memory. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. This is a starting point, but it is a powerful one. If you are observant, you will see small changes happening within days of starting the meditation, and as your practice goes on, the positive effects will simply become more pronounced. It can't be this easy, you're probably thinking. Well, it is. And I'll explain why in the upcoming episodes. Take care, and thank you for watching.